want a cap on credit card interest rates because, you know, some of them are 28, almost 30%. And that people don't know they're paying 30%. The people out there, you know, they're working and they have no idea that they're paying 30%. No way. We're putting a 1-year cap at 10%, and that's it. They know it. They've really abused the public. The credit card companies have totally abused it. I'm not going to let it happen.
Y'all can say whatever y'all want about Donald Trump, but what he posts on his Instagram or his Twitter, he means it. What you mean announcement? That is the announcement. And he daring any bank to F around and find out. Don't be like Maduro was up in Valencia, Donald Trump just said he is capping interest on credit cards to 10%. 10%. 10%. And he didn't even just say all that, dog. He said he gonna do it in 10 days. He said on the 20th, y'all better not charge more than 10%. And I don't know. But I'll tell you what, say whatever you want about Donald Trump. I don't want to be on his bad side. So the banks are saying, well, this is a big mistake, because if you do this, we just gonna close all the cards anyways, because we won't be able to recoup our money that we already gave them. And basically, just so y'all being for real, just the day before he announced this stuff was because one of the people in Congress, one of the Democrats, said, hey, Trump ain't even kept his promise. A year ago, he said that he was going to do blah, 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 blah. Trump said, watch me work.
So Trump is saying that he wants to do a 1-year 10% cap on interest rates for credit cards. It's amazing. It's only for 1 year. It's not forever. 1-year cap, 10% interest rate. A lot of these credit cards are at 25, 28, 30%. The banks want you to be in debt. They're saying that the people in America are over $1 trillion in debt due to credit card fees. The banks want you to be in debt. I have really started transitioning into paying with cash. I used to have this theory back in the day, cash is king. I'm kind of going back to that because, look, if you can't buy it straight out, then you don't need it. A lot of people are living off of credit cards. You're buying things that you're just saying, I'll pay it off later. This is the reason why when you get laid off of your job, you are hurting because you don't have the money to pay the debt that you paid for 2-3 months ago on that credit card. So the banks are threatening Trump and saying, well, we'll cut the credit cards, we'll cut the perks, the flying, all of that. Cut it. I just think that people need to spend what they have, and that's it. The banks want you to be in debt. They want you to continue to pay that credit card debt every single day. Interest, interest, interest. That's how they win. That's why when you have a credit card and you don't have a balance, your credit score goes down because you're not helping them feed money. When you're paying things off before the interest kicks in, when you're doing all of these things, they don't like you. They won't give you a credit line. You know what's funny? They extend your credit line when you're spending more money. But when you're not spending money and you're being frugal, they don't extend your credit line. That just tells you they're inviting you to spend money because they know eventually you're going to spend too much and they're going to keep you in debt. And then every month you'll just be paying interest. So 10% is more than fair. But this just tells you, when you look at our president, you guys were saying before, oh, he's only for big business. He's only for this. He's really for the American people. To really come in and say, look, January 20th, I'm going to just set this. Whether we do this in Congress or I do executive action, we have to make sure that the people are getting taken care of. And honestly, I look at it like this. A lot of y'all don't need credit cards. I don't need credit cards. If I don't have it in cash, I don't need it. Well, Marcus, we want cars, we want houses. The whole credit system is jacked. Okay, there's places overseas where you don't need credit. So how do they do it and we can't? It's because credit and debt is a big business. This is how banks survive. The banks are leaning on you to pay that interest rate every single day, and they threaten you of your credit score is going to get messed up, so you can't get this and this and this. You know, the people that are not tripping off of this or not tripping off of credit cards are people that have cash. Millionaires, billionaires, people that have liquid cash are not tripping because most of the time they pay cash. Oh, they use an Amex. In the Amex, you have to pay it off every month. They don't carry debt. Only people that are poor, middle class carry the debt. These banks don't make money off of rich people. If a rich person has a lot of liquid cash in his account, the bank will be like, please, we'll give you a 1% card just so we can just get some money off of your fees that you're using the card, the transaction fees, the merchant fees. That's how they make money. They make money off of you, off of the credit card debt. They make money off the merchant fees. They make money off of all these extra fees that you have to pay. So if millionaires and billionaires don't use credit for things, why should we? We're holding on to this dream and saying, well, I could use somebody else's money, leverage their money so I can make money. But a lot of people fail with that method. There's more people that fail, way more than people that fail that actually make it leveraging somebody else's money for your own money. It doesn't work. You can listen to the social media gurus telling you all of this. It does not work. I believe what I've been going back to is cash is king. If I don't have the cash to buy it outright, I don't want it. I told my wife, I said, the next house that we get, I'm buying it cash. The next property we get, I'm buying it cash. Cars, cash. It's just better when you have the cash. That just means you need to have discipline and just keep the cash to yourself. Because look, if you get a credit card, that is not a flex anymore. It's all about having cash. The credit cards you're just making money for the bank. You're a pawn of the bank. That's why they want you in debt. They want you to be maxed out. It's because now they're getting maximum interest on your money. So this is why you got to pay attention and see what Trump is saying. He's actually looking out for a lot of Americans who are in debt.
I don't know. This is a big deal, y'all. This is a huge deal. Because what y'all don't know, or we all part of it, but our debt, the United States credit card debt has increased to $1.17 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Trump, now that I think about it, since you're just doing whatever you want to do, can you just wipe it out? Just wipe it out completely.
I think everybody wished he would do that, but he'd be the coldest president to do that. But this is why in order to have a thriving economy, you have to have less debt. You have to have people working. What he's going to be doing this year, because he's really targeting housing, right? What he's going to be doing is he already started to create the jobs. The jobs are coming back. People are saying, oh, the job report, the jobs are coming back. But you got to pick the jobs that are ready now. See, what it is, y'all want to pick these jobs that are in fairy tale land. There's no more fairy tale land jobs anymore. Get a real job. With that, now you're going to cut down on your debt, right? Now you're going to be able to afford the house. That's how it works. It starts with you. You have to go work, pay off your bills, lock in, right? If you have a job, you cut down on your debt, and then you can afford things. Now you can make the logical decision of buying homes. See, the home crisis is only going to be solved by you. It's not going to be solved by America. It's going to be solved by you. But Trump is putting you in a position to cut down on that interest rate, to cut down that debt, for you to keep you from spending. Because you know what? A lot of y'all credit cards might get canceled. And that's good. That's good if they cancel your credit cards. You know why? Now you have a fresh start. Now you can pay off those credit cards and just use your cash. It's going back to cash is king, not living off of credit. That's not the way. That's not the way. From here on out, if those credit cards get cut off, all right, cool. I can pay that off and I'll be spending with cash. And if you can't buy it, then don't get it. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Go get a Patreon coming soon. Got the morning show coming soon. Can't wait for that. Lock in. Take care of your debt. But man, look, no matter what you think, if you got Trump deranged syndrome, just close your eyes and listen to all the things that he's doing. And you can't tell me he's not a good president. I'm out.